Well, my name is Thomas. I'm one of the founders of APROPLAN. And I want to start with one simple question. Who here has built a house, did some renovations, or just even knows somebody who did some renovations? Okay, that's a lot. So if your experience was similar to mine, you probably had a few hiccups along the way. A few repairs here and there, a little bit of a delay. And we always say, well, that's normal in the construction sector. Well, is it? Let's put that in a little bit of a perspective. Let's try to compare the sector with some other sectors. If you compare it to semiconductors, they make one error every 10,000 pieces. In the car industry, it's 1 in 100. Luckily for us, none of these are fatal, let's say. In the retail, it's 1 in 20. And when you go to the construction sector, it's 1 in 4. 25%, that is huge. But where does that come from? Well, we have our thoughts. One of the main reasons is the huge amount of plans, documents, reviews, updates, and so on. The second thing is the huge amount of time it takes for somebody to translate his field notes into something usable for people down the line. For every hour they spend in the field, they spend about an hour in the office converting in a Word document, in a PDF, and so on. The third thing is, even for a small project, you will have at least an architect, a contractor, and an owner, of course. And then you can multiply that by 100 and 1,000, the bigger the project becomes. And then one thing that I find very obscure is 80% of the technology in this sector is for in the office, but 80% of the work is done on the field. So that's where we come in. What we have done, we've tried to group all of these updates, these plans, and so on, all of these field notes into one place, and it is available both in the office as well as in the field. So while I'll go through, show you all of these 4 axes and how we solve it, I'll go through some slides so you can see a little bit more of our application. So first, we said we need to have everything in one place. So our application will give all of the pictures, all of the plans, big like a kind of a Dropbox or something like that, and we'll give access to everybody who can see these files, of course. Afterwards, we'll also show the details of the plans, but also mention briefly that there were a number of updates, a number of revisions, and so on. So what we will do, we'll put 2 different versions next to each other. As soon as we zoom on one, of course, the other one will zoom with it. And we will even indicate where the differences are. So somebody in the field doesn't have to compare plans and put them next to each other anymore. Next to that, we set field notes. So wouldn't it be nice if you could indicate the exact place where an error is, add a few pictures, even draw on them if necessary, add a little bit more information, like who needs to do it, by when, and so forth, and then indicate it exactly on the plan. And now whether you have 1, 2, 5, 10, thousands of remarks, it doesn't really matter for us. We stock everything and we'll make it available to everybody. You'll have, of course, a very clean interface that allows anybody to look at it. And you can even generate these annoying reports that for the moment take hours, and that in just a few seconds. They'll have the whole list of what they do. They'll have the details on where it is on the plan. And, of course, the complementary picture with the zoom and all of the details. So this is in a nutshell what we do, and that's only on the iPad. Because we only have 4 minutes, I won't go in more details. We have the same application on steroids on the web to digest all that information you captured in the field in the office. So now the next question is, okay, so it's a big problem in a sector, but how big is this sector? Well, maybe just a quick summary. What we will do, we will try to reduce the admin, of course, for the people who are using, who are in the construction sector. We'll do that, and we'll make it available both in the office as well as in the field. And we'll try to do it, but I think we're pretty successful at it, at doing it in a very easy to understand and efficient interface. As I was mentioning, how big is this sector? Well, it's about 10% of the economy. And how many people are working there? It's about 11% of the active population. So it's not only a big problem, but it's also a big sector. What is our business model? We work on a freemium model. Packages go from 50 euros from a single user, and then will go up for bigger companies, which have, of course, more resources. They'll pay, of course, more. in the last 6 months, we have been able to secure deals with what in our sector are the leaders in the market in each of these segments, going from the architects to the contractors, entrepreneurs, and engineers. And we're very happy because we're used both on very small projects to the bigger ones. One of the ones we are used for the moment is the Ups Tower next to Tour and Taxis. I think most of you will see that, where they generate already a huge amount of remarks. This is what we have done, not our future plan. So we went from 150 people, 150 beta testers in January. We have about 6,500 activated users back in September. We hope to break even, should be on target to do that Q1 2014. We went from 0 in January to about 30,000 recurring business in September. I see you coming, so I'm about to run. Of course, I wasn't doing this alone. I have a few of my colleagues here in the room, and the rest of the team is back in the office. So just a small last thing. What we're looking for is we're looking for some people to join us. And if you are one of the community manager or engineers, let me know. I'll be available afterwards.